What is self-hosting website? In this video, let's look at what is self-hosting website and the advantages and disadvantages and why you should be self-host or not, or what you should get a hosting, all those things. So a lot of y'all looking online and want to know how and what is self-hosting a website. So in this article, Arvindan has covered about when you're starting a blog for a personal purpose or a website for a business reason. One of the main confusion is where to host it. That's why as an hosting provider, Seek a Host provide hosting services for anybody who want to host a website and easily get it up and running in a matter of minutes. However, you may became across self-hosting. You thought about like, I want to try to self-host a website. I don't want to pay to a host. So in this case, let's look at what is self-hosting. Self-hosting websites means that instead of using a public cloud provider, run your own website or application by setting up a server and network yourself. If you know, so if you're a networking experienced person, maybe that's definitely something that you can do. However, there are investments like buying servers, internet that's connected, good internet connections, all those things matter. Those who choose self-host will be responsible for maintenance and uptime as well as the internet, in addition to building their website or application, because you need multiple so at Seeker Host, we host websites for customers, right? So we have our data centers that we have multiple internet connections that connected with the servers. If one goes down, then another gets up. So that's the procedure, even though you want to host a website, unless you just want to host your website, self-host it on your PC, which is also doable. But when the PC shuts down, your site is down and nobody can access it. So those are the disadvantages. Unless you get a workstation PC, have it running 24/7, internet cost comes, all those already, the also the electricity cost, all those things comes into place. Hosting a site by yourself and self-hosting, however, if that's what you want to do, that's doable, that's learnable, that can be done. In terms of self-hosting, that means hosting website yourself on a server that you control, have control at your place ideally. The opposite of self-hosting is managed hosting, which is at Seekhost provide VP hosting, hassle-free and easy to manage. You don't need to worry about managing servers or networking, which as experts teams hassle-free handle the part of like having your server hosted, and your website data can be read through from the server, which is always connected to the internet 24/7. So your website can be accessed by anybody, anytime, anywhere in the world. So, and WordPress is one of the most easiest platforms. It's a CMS. So basically, you have a domain name, and then you have a server which is hosting the CMS, which is the WordPress, which is the content management system. It's been installed on the server to load up the data and the all the details, images, media, content, all those things that you're running. So self-hosting is one of the ways to go about, but if not, the hassle-free ways to get hosting from hosting provider and host it yourself. What are the benefits of a self-hosting website? The main benefits of self-hosting is that the user has control of their website data and potentially lower monthly cost than using a managed host. If you have all these things into place, you're not worried about the light bill, electricity bills, and then the other thing is like you have your servers are extremely costly. However, maybe you're going on large scale, and that's how we got started back in even Seeker Host, getting the servers, hosting it, and putting into this place things. So which is actually became leading to us building and hosting company. Self-hosting gives you the total control of your website because you control it if you know it. In self-hosting, where you will decide to customize the site design, all the color fonts and the things, which is actually a part like if you're building the website and hosting, and you're literally looking after. Self-hosting allows you to choose the exact services you want to control your website and the blog, what plugins you want, what security system. It's a complicated thing, but it's doable. And better integration, email, newsletter, sign up, and tools that have you control, which is actually a part that Arvind has mentioned, which I'm like, it's something basic things. So what are the downside of self-hosting website? Update responsible. In self-hosting, you are responsible for the server. You will need to do the initial installation, any future code updates. Also, updating and support self software is a huge responsibility that requires highest level of expertise and experience. If you are a person like Gautam, Kasun, Anirudh, all those people, you know how to do that one. If you're not, you can't really host a site really. Site security, you have to take control of the precautions to protect your site from any malware attacks and site hacks. And site backup, in self-hosting, you're responsible for your data backups, where in the other case, when a hosting provider is responsible for backing up your site and having it if you ever need it. So these services are provided at Seekos. If your site is affected by bad update or crash, If you don't have the backup, site is gone, all gone. Site management, when the site goes down, you have to solve the problems. When the site is facing with a huge error, you have to troubleshoot and need the contact of the person. If you have experience, it's doable. If not, guys, like, just build a blog that makes some money, just build a website that makes some money. So ideally, what my recommendation is, get a host, or else get the experienced people who can do it to you. But if you think you want to trial and error, host yourself, self-host it, get a server, install all the system softwares, connect to the internet, making sure it's running, get a couple of internet lines. If the one goes down, fluctuates, other picks up. So that's, if that's you want to do as a trial and error thing, which is actually doable. That's what called self-hosting in a website. Why you should prefer managed web hosting over self-hosting? Of course, we are recommending, we are hosting providers, so we want people to host with us, because we believe it's the most scalable option. If anybody want to build multiple sites and then want to make money and grow a big site and make sure they don't have to worry about the site security issues, backup and things like that. So hopefully this article gave you about what is self-hosting a website and the advantages and the disadvantages. And if you think you want to go on the route of like self-hosting a website, still you can actually get a dedicated server from a place like SeekerHost. SeekerHost provide dedicated servers, VPS hosting, where you can host your site even on the dedicated server, which you need to control and look after, which is in that case, because you can eliminate all the cost of the electricity and the serving investments, because you get a server which is based on a location where it's already connected to the internet all the time. So you base feed your site files and host it yourself, complete security, you have your site and pretty much your data only, which is not a shared hosting. So these are the things you can look. And also, if you google what are types of web hosting, SeekerHost has an article which pops up, and you can read about the types of different hostings that you can get. Hopefully this article gave you an understanding about self-hosting on a website. If you have any questions, drop a comment below. At SeekerHost University, we explain about all the nitty-gritty stuff about web hosting related things. If you have a question, if you ever shoot us a message, just send an email to fernando@seekos.com. Give me an explanation about this particular topic related domains, hosting, websites, blogging, earning, building online businesses. We cover videos on a weekly basis.